You know, I'm starting to genuinely think that these people aren't buying it. Again, I am impressed. I am sincerely impressed with all this. So I guess that means next week I get to go back to doing the normal titles. Till then, more Nightmare Night in Nyx. Remember, folks, you click on it, you asked for it. Morning came, bright and chilly. The cutie mark crusaders were all bundled up in their treehouse, snug as bugs. Lightning Blitz and Sundiver on their cloud were a bit less cozy. You pervs! While the others were snoozing away, Twist had woken up early and was looking into making some breakfast on a little clubhouse stove. As he was scrounging through the clubhouse's stacks of supplies to see where there was to whip up, he noticed a flash of light in the window. Curious, he tried over and peeked out. The flash seemed to be coming from a funny little cloud hovering over the orchard. Now Twist was really curious. There was a toy telescope laying on a nearby shelf, so he picked it up and tried to bring the cloud into focus. What she saw nearly made her drop the telescope, so he gasped and ducked out of sight. There was some pony up in that cloud, watching them. Panting in alarm, the peppermint pony tiptoed where Nyx was sleeping. A quick shake in the Alicorn was wake. "Nyx!" Twist whispered. "Nyx! There's somebody up on the cloud that's spying on us with binoculars!" Nyx scowled, glaring at Twist. Something must be wrong, she realized. Twist's list always got worse when she was upset, and at the moment, she was almost incomprehensible. "What's wrong, Twist?" By way of an answer, Twist half dragged, half sneaked Nyx over to the window. She poked Nyx into peeping into the windowsill. Nyx looked. She saw the odd-shaped cloud. Then she saw the flash of sunlight off the pair of binoculars. She gasped and ducked down. Twist handed her a spyglass from the toy chest. Nyx put a piece of gauze over the rag box over the lens to hide any reflections, and peeked out through a gap in the curtains. The cloud came into focus. It looked like it was a hollow. She could see narrow windows all the way around, and she could see two ponies looking down at him. Two white pickets eye, one with a red and yellow mane, and one with a blue and white mane and a crew cut and drowsy face. They were both watching the clubhouse. One had a pair of binoculars in his hose. "Who are they?" she whispered, her heart beating faster. Twist got a knowing look. Her eyes narrowed to slits. Her mother had warned her about this sort of thing. She was always on the lookout. She knew who the watchers in the clouds were. "Pervert!" She hissed. I didn't feel he was old enough to know what a pervert was, but the vague warnings they heard about them were enough to make Twist's pronouncement as ominous as the opening theme of The Shining. You know, these girls are growing up. I think it's about time they had to talk. "What do you want?" Nyx hissed back. "The wild little fillies are called dressing and undressing," Twist whispered. "The thing that deviant tendencies. That's what my mother says." The confusing concept behind that proclamation was a work of surrealistic art, but it was enough to make both their skins crawl. For a brief inkling instant, Nyx had a fleeting recollection of the ponies who had wished her ill on her after her reformation. But Twist's powers of suggestion wiped death thought away in an instant. Her tiny temper flickered a light at the notion of strange perverts saying deviant tendencies at her friends. Now, what would TC's cloud-born interlopers a lesson? Briefly, she recalled one of Apple Bloom's more business construction projects from the week before. It got nobody their cutie marks, but it was custom-made for the situation. "Look at the others," she said. "Get me a toolbox, a bucket, and those bicycle tubes for leftover from last week's crusade." "What do you need those for?" Twist asked as she nudged Truffle and Pissqueak awake. Nyx scowled at the curtain window. "We're gonna teach those perverts not to spy on the King Marker Sayers," she said, scrunching her nose up defiantly. Lightning Blitz grunted as he watched the weather teams breaking the clouds up on the horizon. "Fulls up yet? It's getting on today." Sundiver looked up from binoculars, bemused. "They're up. You can hear them moving around." There was a faint clatter in the treehouse below. They haven't come out yet, though. They seemed to be avoiding the windows. He heard the banging of a hammer. The tree had long ago lost its foliage, so he had a clear view of, well, nothing. "What are you up to?" Blitzlet's viewpoints on the hollowed-out cloud lit down. "What the? I didn't know they had a skylight." Surprised, Sundiver lit down. A large section of the roof swung up. It was propped open with spring ledges. He picked up the binoculars and tried to look down inside. He didn't manage to look down the clubhouse, though. His view was suddenly obscured by a small constellation of apples, which were growing in size at alarming speed. Cutie Crusaders and Diane's aren't having doing! Ying! A dozen grade A, late-season Sweet Apple Acres apples disappeared into the cloud. There was a cascade of thumps followed by an agonized yell. The Humite Crusaders cheered as apples and curses rained from the suspect cloud puff. The CMC had been diabolically busy. The tree in which their clubhouse rested actually came up through the floor and forged inside before emergency from under the roof. Under Nick's and Apple Bloom's supervision, they had strung rubber inner tubes from the forks and attached a sizable bucket, transforming their treehouse into an enormous slingshot. "Reload!" shouted Apple Bloom. More of the horror of eating apples were loaded into the bucket. Trufflet, being the heaviest, dragged the bucket as far back as it would go, while Pipsqueak sighed for reins. "I'll meet more to your left, mate," he said, squinting through the spyglass. "Okay, to your back and fire!" Trufflet released the bucket, and another volley of fire in its hardest form shot skyward. Meanwhile, Sundiver and Lightning Blitz were discovering a serious drawback to their method of concealment. While it kept them effectively invisible, to dismay, their hollowed-out cloud provided absolutely serious cover from hostile fire. They tossed back and forth, and they're tying it closer to the little veil. "We gotta get out of here!" Sundiver yelped. "We can't leave the gear," Blitz said. "Every place cover will be blown if we do." "What do we do?" "Come on, you moron!" Blitz ran back to the back and get closer. Put his foreholes against one puffy white wall and stopped flapping. "Help me push! Quick, before they reload!" Slowly, the junk-laying cloud started to pull away. Horse apples, they got smaller sleek sides at all the windows. Ow, 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 ow! Things continued to go badly for the two watch ponies. They managed to finally pull their pummeled cloud out of range of the CMC's makeshift apple launchers. Only discovered they were now taking fire from above, deep in flank. You know, I want to laugh at this scene, but all the negative connotations above this and a lot of what it entails just ruins it for me. Things continued to go badly for the Wasp ponies. Nick's Scootaloo Rumble were on a cloud about 100 feet higher. They weren't strong enough flyers to get so high normally, but while the perverts had been distracted from in the incoming apple slot, Nix, Lee, and Dinky managed to pull their matches to give the three Cloudwalker foals a boost to the upper cloud. They were now on hot pursuit, pushing the cloud raft with their wings and bombing the fleeing enemy with hailstones the size of snowballs, squeezed by a hoof-out cloud cover. "At least a little sticker said, 'Ow! Learned to kick out lightning yet!'" Sundiver said. There was a crack of thunder. Push harder. The air bombardment didn't stop until the guards left Sweet Apple Acres airspace and were powering their way through Everfree. The foals pushed their own cloud back over the clubhouse and fluttered their way down. "We did it!" Rumble said. Tears went out from every pony in the treehouse. "You think this leads us down?" "Yeah, let's keep him," Scootaloo said. She rubbed her chin as she regarded the giant launcher. "Sure wish we could put this one in turret, though." Sundiver and Lightning Blitz sat in their battered cloud over the Everfree forest, nursed their countless bruises, and gloomily contemplated the report they would have to write to their superior. What the superior would have to say about them abandoning their post. "Blitz," Sundiver said. "What?" "Something just occurred to me. Something we really ought to remember." "Yeah, what?" "That cute little innocent Alicorn filly, the one we're supposed to protect?" "Yeah." "Once conquered all Equestria, by herself, in less than a week." "So you're saying we underestimated her?" Sundiver combined the remains of an apple out of his head. "Just a tad." "Wah, wah, wah." "Nix, could you come down for a moment?" "Okay, Mom." Nix trotted down from her room to the main floor of the library. Every pony had returned home without incident, each with their own plans for the costume tucked away in their saddlebag. Nix had been working her own when Twilight called up the stairs. The foals had told Applejack about the incident with the strange ponies, but Applejack had interpreted the story as the fillies tucking apples at some idle passerby who traipsed on their property. So, Applejack's not going to investigate somebody trespassing. Why? She scolded for pelting ponies with perfectly good fruit, but then let the matter slip her mind. No, the foals had thought to tell their own parents about it. Strangers fled, and in the manner of children everywhere, it was out of sight, out of mind. So it was rather shocked that for Nix when she found the two Pegasi the CMC had driven off, standing in the main room of her house, with her mother and Spike, wearing pith helmets and looking bruised, disheveled, and rather discomforted. Then the shock became mutual when Nix walked into the room, clapped eyes on the screen. "It's the pirates!" and ran behind her mother. Twilight got there, Dar. What, Nix, what are you... Nix pointed an accusing hoof at them around her mother's flank. Those two, they were spying us in the clubhouse yesterday. They were hiding in the clouds. They had binoculars and cameras and still were trying to catch us taking off our clothes. What? The accused ponies were standing in selects out of armor. No, wait a minute! One of Bruce Pigginside yelled, waving his hose frantically. There was a frantic gobble of voices pointing accusing hose. Excuse me! Came a third voice. Every pony stopped talking. A third pony Nix hadn't noticed before. A unicorn with an indigo coat and coal-black mane stepped from the brief gap. If you give me a moment, I can explain. Twilight looked indignant. You better! Spike snorted. A small spurt of flame shot from his nostrils, making the Pegasus nearest him flinch. Protective did not begin to describe Spike's attitude about Twilight or Nix. Tiny or not, he was an arrow-proof reptile who could spit fire. I would like to have, cannon! Confirmation that he's arrow-proof. I mean, those spikes did dig into his scales, and we did see him winch. So I would like cannon proof. Just like I would also like to have cannon proof about that whole entire immunity and magic bit. But wait, there is proof! Really? What proof is that, Trixie? Well, some of these people like writing dragon fics. Oh, I'm sorry, Trix. Thank you. I forgot. The people who usually write that the dragons have immunity to magic usually are the ones who want to see the main six fucked, raped, and banged in any way possible so they can have Spike beat the superior person. I forgot. Thanks, Trixie. Sexism sucks. Two solid diamond and way through molten rock. If he had ever thought any pony had hurt his foster mother or sister, it would go very, very poorly for them. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Spike. Try to be awesome. Believe me, the explanation's simple. The Indigo Tentacle said, these two fellows are birdwatchers. These fellows work for the Equestrian Aviary Society. We received a report of inside birds seen in Ponyville, and there he is. He said happily, as Peely flew into the room and perched on Spike's head. A baby phoenix is quiet fine, you know. So why didn't you just come out and meet us if you wanted to see Peely so bad? Twilight asked suspiciously. We couldn't do that, the blonde red-maned birdwatcher said. We had to observe the subject undisturbed in its natural environment. A treehouse? Spiked Japan. You gotta work with what you got, Pegasus mumbled apologetically. And let me guess, you put up a bird blind, the Keymark Crusaders caught you spying, and nature took its course, Twilight said, with some amusement. She posed lightly at one of the birdwatcher's bruisers. The pony flinched and grunted, yes, at high velocity no less. You guys ever think that maybe you shouldn't be doing this, and you wouldn't have to come up with so many lies and controversy, and we had a slingshot, or maybe we just keep being stupid? Well, the children were acting in self-defense, Inkspot said. No damage done. In the long run, I hope you didn't get your daughter in any trouble. Have you been working on your Jeff Goldblum impersonation for this? Yes, I've been working on it. Twilight gave Nix a good eye. Nix gulped. It had dawned on her that she could be in quite a bit of trouble for pummeling strangers with high-speed fruit. Strangers who were spying on little fillies. Well, Twilight said inside. I suppose I'll let it slide this once. Nix sighed in relief. Thank you. She mounted a gentle pony. He merely chuckled and winked. So, what's your role in all this? Twilight asked the unicorn. He smiled. Forgive me, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Inkspot. I'm an editor for Informative Publishing, the publishing house that produces The Astronomer's Guide to All Things Astronomical. Twilight said with sudden glee. Wait a minute! Time out! He's an indigo pony. That goes great with Violet. He has a black mane. And he loves books. He loves stargazing. Oh my fucking god. This is Twilight's love interest, isn't it? This is RC Coca-Cola's OC love interest for Twilight. Really? Really, RC? This was the best idea you had in all your mystical wondering for her love interest? Was this clone of her? Oh my god. I was okay with Pinky having a clone of her as her husband, merely because I like T. Sandwich, but then again, T. Sandwich was a fully developed character. This is not a fully developed character. He might as well be a dildo with glasses for all his character that we see here. But wait, he does have character traits. He's raised for books. He studies. He's everything Twilight could want. Yeah, and that's very suspicious to me, if you ask me. But maybe there's some more to this. Yes, and the Avery Guide and His Isaac's Guide to Equestria and the Encyclopedia Equestria and the Atlas Obscura and Trafford's Dictionary and, well, you get the idea, I'm sure. He grinned. Basically, we print and distribute pretty much every resource and volume and guidebook in your library. So you're in the dictionary and encyclopedia business? Spike asked monotone. Sounds riveting. You know, I've read a few stories that have given Twilight an OC love interest. This one is the lamest out of all of them. I am so sorry to Spires and Magic. Will you compare him to this cardboard copy? Peter is the most well-developed character there is. I would rather take all of Twilight's OC love interests over this. But wait. I get it. I know why he must be perfect. Because he loves books just as much as Twilight does. Blink, blink, blink. And he studies stars just like Twilight does. Blink, blink, blink. Fuck you, Fick. You know, I know why they did the whole entire Flash Century romance. I can imagine they were just joking around in Dreyer's room, saying, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we had Twilight do this? As kind of just a silly thing, because, hey, it's a cliche. Might as well. It's funny. And let's see if anybody can laugh about it, the fact that he tries to be the main, but it's actually the main six. I can see why they did that. And it makes sense. Why not be silly? Why not have fun with the idea? You're trying to be silly and trying to have fun. Why not make the kids laugh? Please no, I said why not make the kids laugh. Why not just have a little fun with the idea? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being Twilight's love interest because at least he was different. And you know what? Having differences in your relationship can be a good thing. But this, Twilight might as well be following Trixie's dream of fucking herself. And even that would get annoying for Trixie really quick. You know, Twilight also has an OC a love interest in the sequel to Longing. He's also a bit more developed. This is Twilight just fucking a mirror image. That's all it is. And why? Because RC apparently has no imagination. because he thinks that the only best way to get a good romance going is if you have the exact same personality. To which I say, go watch Witch, you pathetic, evil Gary Gygax. Spike regarded them with a blank expression. You'll excuse me while I go feed Pee-wee here. You two want to come along and get some pictures or something? He said to the Avery representatives. No, to the others shrugged. Might as well. Great. You guys want some limited ointment or something for those bruises? Spike trotted out to the kitchen with the pink eye in tow. Twilight and Inkspot continued to talk books. Nix noticed that someone dressed as Twilight was standing much closer to Inkspot than was usual for her. She also seemed to be smiling a lot more and batting her lashes. Okay, I'm done! Nope. Done with this chapter. Moving on. Nope. My God! Twilight didn't act that stereotypical Twitter painted with Flash! It's instantaneously! Bling, 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 bling. I'm fluttering my eyelashes because I'm so in love. My God! Like, you're making Equestria girls look subtle, RC. Quit writing!